Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholkis, and it's time for Invincible Season 2, Episode 2. In about 6 hours, I lose my virginity to a fish. Never thought I'd be saying that as a title, but there you go. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right, let's get started, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. If you have time to pause, go away, whatever you need to do. All right. So everyone's still walking on eggshells in this episode. It's graduation day too. So Mark's getting ready to graduate, and what is he doing? He's fighting Doc Seismic again, who is back from the magma pits, molten hot magma, and he's fucking up yet another, national monument. Trying to reclaim the Washington monument as the granite from it. And so Mark, of course, knocks him out, gets back to the, gets to his graduation on time, all that kind of stuff, and gets to graduate. Cecil is pretty much dropping the ball on a lot of shit here. I mean, we're seeing a lot of slip ups on Cecil's part. Especially with the Immortal now being in charge of the Guardians of the Globe, and how the Immortal has changed quite a bit. I mean, he's a bit more draconian, and he is really running people through their paces. He's not allowing this team to go out yet until they are trained, and Rexplode is just catching the brunt of all of this too, because Duplicate. There we go. Is now screwing the Immortal, not Rexplode, and the Immortal's taking it out on Rexplode as well. There's just all kinds of things, and we also have a little bit of not resolution, but a little bit of update on the Martian front of what's going on with the Martians being invaded by the Starro figures, and basically Mars is screwed. We see Mars trying to fight back. They are losing, of course, and we see a ship take off with those creatures inside of it that are most likely coming to Earth at that point. But there was a Martian who escaped. So when we saw the astronauts come back that Mark had brought back in season one of them, we saw his, his little flag that was on his shoulder move and switch over. It turns out it's a Martian, and that Martian is trying to learn the ways of human beings on Earth, and sees that there was a Martian who was a superhero, died, and decides that he can become a superhero. Especially since he's lost his job at NASA or whatever, the Global Space Agency or something like that, and because he's being too weird and whatnot, and doesn't have any money to pay for rent. So he thinks he can live over where the Guardians of the Globe, live at, and he shows up as a shapeshifter, is what he shows up as. And in the meantime, we have Dr. Angstrom, Levy, is, or what's left of him, traveling the multiverse, and essentially he's trying to get information on how Omni-Man was defeated. Omni-Man and Mark were defeated in alternate, multiverse, in alternate realities, and he's finding out it's not that easy to do, to defeat them. But he's gaining information as he's doing this, as he's going through, and we get to see another world where Mark has been captured, Omni-Man has been defeated, but Mark basically in that dimension says that they just waited for him to fall asleep, and that's when they got him. So yeah. Um, and then of course, Mark's mom sees Donald still alive, and I know everyone was talking about Donald, in the first episode, like how in the fuck could he have survived? He died when he, blew up the house across the street from Omni Man, and um, there is an explanation for that. And if you want to know, I'll tell you right now, but you got to cover over your ears for those of you who don't want to know. In three, two, one, Donald's a robot. So yeah, that's how it comes about. And even Donald doesn't know he's a robot. And that's how he keeps coming back. Is that was kind of a running thing in the comics where he dies all the time and keeps coming back, and he's a robot, so he doesn't know he's a robot. But end of that. There you go. So yeah, that was a kind of an interesting little thing that they threw in there. And then of course, on top of all of this, the underwater kingdom where the fishman guy, the king of the underwater kingdoms, who Omni-Man killed, their laws are the atrocity that happened, or the crime that was committed. If they can't charge the person who did it, then it falls on their son, on their heir. And so Mark has to go to the Undersea Kingdom because Cecil says you have to marry the queen. It's a mostly symbolic gesture, all this kind of stuff. So that's where this title comes into all of this. And he goes to the Undersea Kingdom. Cecil, of course, does not come with him. And Mark finds out, no, they've gotten rid of that barbaric custom. Instead, it's a fight to the death. And if you survive, a trial by combat, essentially. And if you survive, then all's good. Everything's forgiven. And he's fighting against this huge behemoth of the deep, which Cecil again inadvertently releases because he blows up the chains instead of blowing up the creature. And Mark has to, of course, stop that from happening. He stops the queen from getting killed, and all um, bad blood between the surface world and the underwater kingdoms are taken care of at that point. So yeah, we also have a side issue of Eve talking to her parents and her dad losing her job because of what happened in Chicago, and he blames her for it, or all superpowered beings. And we're seeing this undercurrent of people not trusting people with powers. We've been seeing this a little bit, here and there, and it's going to probably come to a bigger head later on, probably about mid-season was what I'm guessing. But that's what we're seeing as well. That's starting here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Eve's father is at the head of all of this. So, yeah. And that's kind of where we're seeing progression on this. Even though Eve was trying to help, she went to Chicago to try and help with the rebuild. She took care of a vacant lot and turned it into a park. What she didn't know is that the city hadn't built anything on that vacant lot because it was condemned. It was over a sinkhole. And when people went to go and use the park, the sinkhole, of course, collapsed. So, yeah. Yeah, there's things that are done for a reason, for the most part. But yeah. Um, all in all, an interesting episode. We have stuff moving along, but I'm kind of hoping we get into the main storyline sooner rather than later, because right now we just seem to be kind of catching up, which I think we could have done in one episode and then started into the main storyline in this episode. So I'm kind of disappointed that they spent this one to keep catching up on what's happening. I understand it's been a 2-year gap, but still at the same time, I want to get into the story. It's been a 2-year gap. I want more into the new story. So let's get going here, especially since we only have, they're going to do that season. Excuse me. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to cut the season in half. Here is what they're going to do. I'm looking at the seasons right now. So yeah, November 24th is going to be episode 4, and then we're gonna have to wait until 2024 for the last 4 episodes, because it's only 8 episodes this season. So that's what they're gonna do. And I mean, that's all we've got. We've got 4 episodes for November, and then we have to wait until next year to finish out the season, which is still a lesser time than what we waited between season 1 and season 2, but still. And season 3 has already been, greenlit, so they've been working on that too. But all in all, I mean, I like this series. This series is actually really well done. And again, it's from the comic too, so they've made some changes, small changes here and there from the comic to the series, which of course they're going to do, and they're doing it for the better. I mean, quite honestly, whenever you start doing a series from a long running comic or a long running book or something like that, you're going to make changes along the way, especially since society itself changes, and all kinds of things that just need to be changed here and there, story wise and all that stuff. But anyway, with that said, what else do I have going on for the rest of, today? I'll be back at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do spoiler alert. Basically, I'll be talking about all things that have been, released out to the public, not anything that you saw sneak preview wise or anything like that. And we can talk about spoilers, TV shows, movies, games, whatever you want to talk about. Also, we'll talk about genre news, all that kind of stuff too. Now that the strikes are over with, and they're releasing a whole bunch of shit, and things have been moved around, all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about all of that at 6 p.m. tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow will be Is It Worth My Time? The Marvels. I'll be talking about that, my review on that movie. Tuesday and Wednesday I'll be off, and Thursday I most likely will be off as well. And then Friday will be a new episode of Invincible, is what we'll do there. And then Saturday of next week will be the contest results for Loki season 2. Yeah. So remember, go back to that season finale of Loki season 2, and you too can win a pin or a t-shirt, as long as you're within the continental United States and make a comment on that video. There you go. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the day at least, and I'll see you later on tonight. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up still having that post-traumatic stress syndrome from your superpowered dad beating the fuck out of you and then just taking off for no reason. Let me take care of some business too while I'm here before I go. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff I've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button, and you can hit that like button, the share button as well. That'd be great. Also, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages there as well. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I will see you again at 6 p.m. Until then, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you then. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. See you at 6 p.m. tonight. Bye.